We're going to be talking about quilts. These are amazing. If you have never seen some of the quilts, the one hanging behind our guests is amazing. Who made that? Marcia, that was you.
Yes.
How long did it take you to make that?
4 months, a little short of 4 months, and that includes the quilting that was done by Pat Cooper.
That would take me like 4 years.
Well, it's surprising because I really like hand-turned applique, but this is machine applique, which is a very much faster method.
Oh, this is machine. Okay.
Yes.
What I don't mind doing squares,
Right.
but you got a lot of curves in there.
But there's a particular ruler made by Sue Pellin, who has the book all about the quilt,
Okay.
and she has particular rulers, and the directions are wonderful. I've always wanted to make this quilt, but it has
It's gorgeous.
the fused material, and I thought it would be very stiff. This is the gossamer material that's
Oh,
used.
it's very fine.
And it's put on the fabric. You cut your fabric, and then you make the quilt. All the clamshells are done with a 5-inch square, and you cut the pieces out, and that's what gives you the
You
structure.
actually cut those out
Oh, yes.
in a curve.
Yes.
But don't you have to seam that? Sputter.
You do seam it after. It's
Afterwards.
pressed on with an iron.
Oh.
It stays in place. The center is made up of 4-inch squares, so you follow the pattern. There's 2 pieces on some and 1 on the other to make the design. And it's very supple.
So anyone who wants to learn quilting
Right.
should come to this event.
Definitely, definitely. October 5th and 6th,
Okay.
and the fee is $8, and it's here right at Proctor's.
And there'll be a lot of quilts to see. Is that
Yes,
correct?
there will be, plus demonstrations, and we also have vendors
Oh, okay.
and a boutique where you can buy fabrics for a lot less than what you'd pay in a store.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want this much of a fabric. You only want this much
Right.
because you're only
Right.
using it for a portion of it.
And sometimes you use those little scraps, and that's what comes out here. It doesn't use a lot of fabric. All these fabrics were in
Because you've got all the little pieces in the center, and probably
They're cut away from the clamshell itself. You see the
Yeah.
shape of the clamshell? Well, those little pieces were cut out from
is
that.
what you use.
Right.
And is there like, I'm looking at that, and I don't mean to dwell on this, but I'm looking at this quilt. Do you decide what colors to go in there, or do you say, let's see what I have left over and I'll just put
You
it in?
put it together and you look at it and you
And see
give
if
it
it
the
look-
artist side to find out what
Okay.
color should go where. Sometimes I take a picture of it and put it in black and white to see how the colors blend.
Cool, yeah. And Lois, you do quilts.
I do, but this is a community quilt.
What is a community quilt? You mean a bunch of people get together?
We have friendship groups. The Quilt Guild consists of about 120 members.
Oh, wow.
But within that group, some of us who know each other decide to get together once a month and have meetings together in addition to the monthly meetings
okay.
of Schenectady Quilts. And in my group, we've decided that we will do a quilt together, each of us making 3 or 4 of the squares, 12-inch squares. And then one of us puts it all together and puts stripping on the sides, and we call these corners. And we get it quilted either by ourselves or asking another member to do it. And then we donate it to the Veterans Program in our guild.
That's what the Veterans Program that you
Yes.
sent, someone sent me, and yeah.
Yes, we have 2 organizations that we love, pay attention to, and support by donating quilts.
They're wonderful.
And sometimes we make our own quilt, sometimes we make a community quilt.
Would that be like a quilting bee?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
we
because, I mean,
we
you
seldom
heard
do
about
that.
quilting bees, right?
We have. That's the old-fashioned dream,
Okay.
you know, that we all have of quilting. We get together for meetings. We don't usually work on a quilt together.
Oh, I see. You
Once
work
in a while we have
separately
done
and then
that.
it gets put together.
We seem to get a lot done in our sewing room by ourselves
Yeah,
sometimes.
because getting together sometimes you get chatty, right?
Oh, we do. We even have, my friendship group is called chatty quilters.
I love that.
Because we just, you know, one end to the other, we're talking.
Right.
But these organizations mean a lot to us.
Of course.
In fact, the day I joined, I heard about them, and that's why I stayed with the
You've
program
been a member a
and
long
joined.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember having,
Since
long-
about 2000.
Yeah, a while. And Patricia, you didn't bring a quilt with you?
No, I didn't, but I was the chair of the Veterans Quilts for...
So that you know exactly what she's talking
Oh,
about.
yes. We started by sending quilts down to Quilt Guild in Southern Maryland, and those were brought up to Bethesda Naval Hospital during the Afghani and the Iraqi conflicts. And when
Yeah,
that...
they aren't wars, are they?
No.
I love that.
Not to mention the people that we lost, but, and then we, when the conflicts were stopped, more or less, we decided that we liked doing this and approached the VA hospital in Albany and continued making quilts for the
Wonderful.
VA hospital. And we have brought over at least 1,000 quilts to...
No,
Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah.
Yes, over that.
1,000?
Yeah, and this is
That's
since
a lot of
19...
quilts.
What was the year we started?
2012.
2012. So since that time, we've donated a bunch per
1,000
year.
in 14 years or so?
Well, it isn't just our group. It isn't just our small, what, 8
It's
of
the
us
whole
now?
guild.
It's the whole guild, everyone. And there's even one meeting per year devoted to making the veterans' quilts.
You have just blown me over with the number of 1,000.
Well, in addition to that, since we have taken on the organization of
Northern Rivers.
Northern Rivers serving
Oh,
little
yeah.
children,
Yeah.
we have taken on making baby quilts as well.
Wonderful.
And so far, we have donated over 900 quilts, near 1,000, to that organization as well.
Yeah, they were on last month looking, well, home finders, they were trying to find some foster homes. So I know that they
Yes.
do a lot of wonderful
Yes,
work.
and one of the best memories I'll take with me when I leave was meeting a young lady, 17 years old, who received my quilt.
Oh, nice.
I showed up at a meeting, and a young lady was there with her adopted mom. She spoke about this quilt later in the meeting, and she
It was
held it up,
yours?
and it was the one I had made
Oh, my.
and donated to the organization
she's
serving
still-
children. She said
How
that she
precious that
never
is.
was without it. She took it everywhere with her,
Yeah.
and she allowed me to write a story about
isn't that a
the
beautiful
situation. So it was very rewarding.
Yeah, there's
We
so
take-
much about quilting and any kind of, I guess, this type of thing, even, crocheting, but it puts something into, from your life to that quilt. There's something that you put into there that is part of you.
That's expressed by the organization when they say, these quilts mean a lot to the children because they know the love
The love,
that has
yes.
gone into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is part
Yeah.
of you to do that. Let's talk about the exhibition that's coming up on the 5th and 6th of October. You are, there is a charge to go, but it's going to be fabulous.
$8,
It's an
yeah.
educational
Right.
process as well there. You have it for 2 days.
Right.
So do you bring people from all over the Northeast? What is your population of people coming?
Yeah, I think they come from, we at one point had a busload come up from New York City, which was kind of interesting. But it's a well-known show, and it has a reputation for having outstanding quilts.
And that's probably, they want to come and see it.
Yes, yes.
They also come for the items that are on sale. We have vendors who are present in a separate space and have lots of room to show what they brought to buy.
Well, I think it's going to be a fabulous show, and even if you're not a quilter, you might want to go just to see these beautiful creations that they've made. I want to thank you all for being here, Patricia and Marcia, and also Lois. It's been a pleasure to meet you all and to see your talents right up here. It's amazing. You
Well,
are
thank you.
amazing women,
Thank you.
and to give 1,000, numbers so big. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.